What's going on, Coach? How's it going today, brother?
Yes, sir. We in the house. Coach is good. How are you doing on that side of the world?
You know what? I'm feeling good. I'm believing. If you notice, I got the Believe attire, the Believe hat, the Believe shirt. It's drawing up all kind of good
Absolutely.
conversation.
The
How's
number
it in
one
South Africa?
requirement, only believe. Now it's starting to get like real chilly outside. You know what it is? It's almost we're changing over to spring soon. So I'm
Okay,
excited. I'm excited because once spring has sprung, new opportunities, new ideas, new concepts. I go with the seasons. You,
I
you know
like
what I
that.
mean? So
I
if the
like that.
world changes, the world's earthly changes, I change as well. So yeah, I'm
Well,
excited.
you know, in Texas, it's been hot now. In the states, we've had 100-degree weather pretty much for the
Oh
whole
no.
month. I think yesterday it was a chilling amount of 107. Coach, that's about
Oh,
42, 43 degrees,
oh no.
45. And that's
I'll
just
check
typical
out.
Texas right there.
I think Texas people must have sinned a lot because God's giving them a preview of what it looks to go like to hell.
Oh, that's
Not
crazy.
at
That's
all.
crazy. Well, brother, we got a great class today, man. Some major
Absolutely.
announcements. I'm really happy to be here. I think what blesses me is that this has been a great journey. This journey as a company, we've been growing. We've been growing by listening to the data and the information from our students and new students. And so I'm just excited about the announcements that's taking place as well. Folks, I'm looking at two screens. So shout out to Miss Teresa. She said hello coming all the way from San Fran. We have Laybell. She said hello. We got Good Day KDT. So we have some of our people showing up in the building,
Absolutely.
coach. Aren't you excited about that?
Absolutely. It's always to see good people, always good to see good people on a call as well, supporting the overall vision and concept that we are busy working towards. So excited I am.
Absolutely. Well, we've done some announcements throughout the week. You guys should have gotten some emails from us. We wanted to just get people focused, just with change, right? And so just write this down, please. Change is good and change is constant. Change is good and change is constant. It's funny, prior to COVID, Zoom was out. People were doing Zoom, but then after COVID, you were forced to do Zoom. Forced to, because if you
Mm,
wanted to communicate at all, you had to learn how to use technology, right? And so for the companies that were able to adapt and not be forced by change, those companies did very, very well. And so some of the change that we're doing right now and some of these major positive announcements is why we're here. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Before we get started, let's just hear from our team. If you're happy for to be on with you guys, happy to see your coaches who love you and care about you, who pray for you, put a seven in the chat if you're here as well today. I wanted to let a little bit more people going on. I know some people are working, some people are kind of dialing in, no matter wherever you're from, but we definitely want to just honor you and just put a seven in the chat if you could hear us clearly and you're excited about some of the announcement and stuff that we're going to be talking about today. Awesome. Okay, so
So
we're getting some
coach,
sevens in the chat. Yes, sir.
so coach, as those sevens are coming in and they're bringing the energy in South Africa, if you join late, they'll say you are from a Pentecostal church. In other words, you come a little late, later than the church service starts. So, this side of the world, what we do is we give you a time and we say for something else. So, we'll say 5, 4, 6. In actual fact, we want you here at 5, but we know you're going to show up at 6. So, we give you a little bit of leeway.
I
So, I
like
guess a
that.
lot of people that side should be Pentecostal as well or something.
There you go. We allow them to indent the time. We just kind of push it in a little bit. The worst is you
Yeah.
have a barbecue, right? You say it starts at 4 and people come at 9 o'clock
Oh,
and
man.
they come up late and say, hey, where's the food? Right. Where's the
Oh,
food? Do me a favor as well. So as we're looking on the broadcast, we can't see your names if you haven't allowed StreamYard to just say hello. So check this out. Just like Teresa said hello, watch this. We can actually pull that up on the screen and see it. But if you don't allow it, it doesn't really show it. So we definitely want to be able to show you guys making those announcements and stuff as well. I really love this platform because this platform is live. This is something that I definitely think that we should start teaching on as well. Sounds good? So, folks, let's go ahead and get started. We actually have something that you can follow. We've been reading the data. Students love when we're giving information, handouts. We want to be able to stream y'all the process or streamline the process and really just kind of go over some of the changes that we've made. So, with that being said, I just have one question. Are you ready? Somebody talk to me, please. Are you ready? Now I wish I had a drum roll, coach, because I'm getting fired. So, welcome to Connect, Trade, and Grow. This is your favorite coach, Coach Brian. We have the legendary Coach Chadwin, and today we're
Let's go.
going over some of the changes in the group. Now, one of the first changes is this word. Write this down if you can. Maybe you might need a thesaurus. Maybe you might need Google. But the word is exclusivity. Exclusivity, right?
Mm,
And so the reason that we made this exclusive, I thought of a country club, right? There's public clubs and there's country clubs. And so exclusive clubs like a country club allow like-minded people to get together and streamline and talk and build community. And that's one thing that we're doing here is streamlining and being exclusive in our community. And so, with that being said, one of the first announcements is that the free membership in ebook has expired today. Now, Coach, is it okay if I be truthful? Because I can be nice, but I'm a coach. I like to be assertive. Is that okay?
absolutely, coach. You know what they say? Straight talk is no insult. You got to be able to handle it if it's true for you. So
Mm.
go ahead, coach. Tell
Put
them.
a 10 in the chat if you appreciate people just being truthful and just cutting the chase and just speaking real. I know we live in a society that's a little bit soft right now. So, if you say a word that can offend people, they'll write you off. But guess what? This is my business. This is our company. We have an environment that we want to keep up. And I just like to keep it straight. Is that fair? So we launched in March for my birthday, March 16th. We launched the free membership in ebook. And I would say out of probably, coach, correct me if I'm wrong, 400 people that got it,
Spot
less
on.
than 10, maybe 15% actually
Yeah.
started the course. Am I saying that right, coach? I mean, am my numbers right? Am I,
Abs-
I
Coach, absolutely. It might even be, I think you might even be making it better than it actually is. So, but that being said, that's the sad reality of it, is that those were the kind of numbers we're seeing. So I think one of the things, and I'm sure you'll agree, is that for most people, free is not working, right?
mm,
If they get something for free, they don't value it.
yeah, kind of like socialism. Uh-oh. Coach, you're
Hey,
talking politics. Yeah. So if everybody just gets exactly the same and there's no work ethic, put a 7 if you agree with this, and we just give people stuff, they won't respect it. You ever done that with your children? You just keep on giving, 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 and their name is Oliver Twist. May I have some more, sir? Yeah, that happens when you just keep on giving and giving and giving. And so we wanted to expire that today because here's why. For the amount of work that we put in this, the amount
mm,
of videos and recordings and edits for people to say, hey, coach, I want to learn how to trade and yet not show up. Uh-uh. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? This isn't a negative call because we did ask ourselves, how can we make this simpler, better, and faster? Come on, somebody. How can we change this in a way to get people excited about learning? Do me a favor, put an 8 in the chat if you're excited about learning. Put an 8 if you really want to trade, because I've even learned that some people will say, hey, I want to trade, and they'll scream and they'll bark. But there's people that actually take
mm.
action to learn how to trade. They say, listen, this is something that I want to do. I want to change the direction of my family. I want to walk in purpose. God has something for me, and I just want to get the money thing taken care of. And so that is why I'm showing up, and I want to learn how to trade. Just let me know who I'm speaking to. Let's keep on going, coach. So our tagline right now is simpler, better, and faster. And with that tagline, we have 4 things that you need to build your business. Write this in the chat, please. Trading is a business. I'm going to say it 2 more times. You say, coach, why you say it like that? Because 3 is a powerful tool. And put some hearts in here if you like what's going on too, right? Trading is a business, and trading is a business. If you treat it like a hobby, if you treat it casual, it'll treat you as such. But if you treat it like a business, it rewards you as such. I'm going to be very truthful with you guys. When we started to look at the data and the information, it suggested that people need a simplified approach. They need to be directed. We need to take the thinking out so that they can go ABC 1, 2, 3. Put a 3 in the chat if you like threes. ABC 1, 2, 3. Now, coach, I'll let you ad lib a little bit, brother, because I can see I've been around you for so much. I know when you got something that you want to say. So go ahead and drop some of that King Solomon, that Coach Solomon wisdom that you have. What would you like to say to the troops?
Hey, coach, you know what? This has become sort of a cliche at the moment. You know, people have heard it so much, but let me say something about cliches. The reason they become cliches is because they have stood the test of time, right? So when we say trading is a business, we don't mean trading is like a business. We don't mean trading seems like a business. We mean trading is a business. So I want you to get your business caps on, your business mind on, and kind of ask yourself, how would you treat a business? Nobody goes into a business and says, you know what, I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see if this thing sells, and I'm gonna see if I put my money behind this. And no, you usually have to have a plan, a business plan. You usually have to have a structure. You usually have to have a lot of different things that come together to make a business successful. The reason why most businesses fail is because people like the idea of a business, but they lack the actual follow through. What we want to change with a simpler, better, faster idea is to help you get that follow through, is to help and assist you. Listen, my grandfather used to say this, and I want to say this to everyone on this call as well. If you know that there is a hole in the street, why are you walking there?
Wow.
Right? If you know that, now some of you might be saying, what the hell? Your grandfather doesn't know anything, right? Give me a moment. Give me a moment. What he meant by that is if someone has pointed out or put up a sign or showed you the way, why would you go any other way? Right? The best way to learn is learn from others. And when we talk about business, there's so many content out there for business. And when we speak about trading, we are converging those two ideas, business and trading, and we're saying, listen, this is the way you make the trading business work. There are certain best practices, of which we're going to speak about 4 things, that have proven over time to make a trading business successful. Now, if you want to hear that, please just say in the chat, I want to. I want to. Thank you, Coach.
Absolutely. So with that being said, when we talk about it's a business, there's 4 things that you need to build your business. And so let's just go over some of them. If you're taking some ones, it's one, possibility. Let me just ask, and this is a proverb as well. Wouldn't it make sense to count the cost before you build your house? Do you just start building the house and then you say, man, this thing is getting a little bit expensive? Or do you count the costs before you start to build it? So one of the first things that we want to simplify is, what is the possibility, right? Is it possible for me to make some money? Somebody talk to me, right? What type of money do I want to make? And so the way that we're going to do that is we're going to make it standard that you go through the profit calculator. We need to be able to look at some real numbers so that we can have some clear objectives of what we want to reach. Everybody type this down, please. Clarity. Clarity. Isn't clarity important? Don't we like clarity in relationships? Don't we like clarity when we're at work? Don't we like clarity in our travel? Don't we like clarity in all areas of our life? Of course we want it. That's one of the worst things in the world, when somebody's talking in circles and, man, I don't know what's going on. What do you think? What do you think? I don't know. But we want to have clarity, because clarity allows us to have direction. Write that down, please. Direction. So that's number one, the possibility. Now, let me just ask this. If you knew that your goal was to make X, and I could show you how to make it, to give you the steps of ABC 1, 2, 3, can I just ask you the $1 million question? Would you follow it? Coach, I wish I had a drum roll. Let me say that again, right? Would you follow it? You know how crazy it is to be given directions. I tell you how to get to my house that you've never been to. And then while you have the directions, you decide to go a different route because you got frustrated. You decide to say, I'm good. Let me just go do something else. Guess what, folks? When we looked at the data, we found out that people are getting directions, but they're going their own way. Woo! Let's keep on going, Coach. As you can tell, I'm getting fired up. I'm not playing today. I'm not playing today, man. I think it's this Topo Chico that I've been drinking over here. By the way,
I need some of that.
Topo Chico. Let's keep on going. Number 2, write down the word, please. Plan. Plan. You don't just need a plan. You need a strategy. Anybody remember the A-team? Anybody remember the colonel? He was a strategist, wasn't he? Yeah. He had a plan. Now, watch this, folks. Plans only work when you follow them. You might be saying, so what's new about what you guys are doing? I'm going to kind of give you the 30,000 foot view, right? And then we're going to break down specifically what we've changed and why we've changed this as well. Now, I want to make this announcement, right? We have existing students on here. Some of these people have been part of our premium plan, our mastermind plan. What we're doing is brand new. So you're not grandfathered into this one. This is new. And the reason is I wanted just to make that announcement is because just like iPhones have an iPhone 10 and then they have the next one, an iPhone 15, we have different things, different products that we're offering. And this product was created out of the information of people saying, Coach, I'm ready. How do I go to the next level? Does that make sense, Coach Chadwin? How do I go to the next level?
Absolutely.
And so I'm going to go ahead and pass it to you because we're going to be talking about OPM and then some of the other things that we have as well. Also, put a 10 in the chat if you guys are loving this broadcast so far. You know, I love doing live stuff like this. I miss being on the microphone on a regular basis. And this is something that we're going to be doing. Oh, let me give a plug in too as well. Make sure to follow us on the King Solomon podcast on YouTube. Go ahead and search us, just add us. We're going to be talking about trending topics. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We're bringing a kingdom perspective to trending topics. How awesome is that? So God has given me a voice. I want to have commentary in that. And myself and Coach Cindy are going to be speaking about what's trending in this world today. Because guess what, folks? We're not going woke. We're going kingdom. Write that down, please. Don't go woke.
Amen.
Go kingdom. Yeah. How awesome is that?
Amen.
Talking about everyday topics and not doing what the mainstream media is doing, but instead speaking truth, showing how God would look at the perspective, how God would have the wisdom on it. So put that in the chat right over there because I'm excited about that as well. Coach, you're up, sir.
Hey, Coach, let me just say something on that. You know, I don't like, and this is popularized around the world now, everybody assumes that woke is being awake, but I think that's the most asleep that you can actually be. Go kingdom. I just wanted to reiterate that because that's when you're actually awake. Coupled to that, what's the in the A team? Because you made that reference now. In the A team, there is it Mr. T? He's like the muscle, right?
Yeah, he was the one
Is
with
it
all
Mr.
the
T?
gold chains and like the
Oh,
little
the chains.
crazy cut
Oh,
right there.
yeah.
Yeah, he had like the little mohawk cut. Yeah, but the
Yes.
colonel always chewed on cigars, man. He be chewing on it. I wanted to discover
I
he
got
didn't
you.
smoke anymore, but he was the man.
I got you. I got you. So the reason I was asking that is because, you know, oftentimes that's kind of how we are in trading. We're just the muscle, right? We're gonna knock every wall down. We're gonna make this work. And we hope we got no strategy. How many of you feel like that? Please let me know in the chat. We got no strategy, no plan. It's just like, send me where I need to go and I'll knock the walls down, right? We're changing that, right? You need a team. Now, that team is a community, yes. That team is yourself as well. That team is your understanding. That team is your plan. That team is everything. And that's how you become, guess what, a team. But let's talk about OPM, other people's money. OPM, you're going to get used to this term. This is the way you're going to make money in the market. Now, I think and you have to forgive me if I get this wrong, but I'm going to give another quote. I like quotes, man. Some good quotes that actually are meaningful. It's Archimedes who said, I believe, give me a lever long enough, a fulcrum to lean it on, and a place to stand, and I will move the world. You might be thinking, man, that's got nothing to do with this. Let me say it again. Give me a lever or a lever, right? A lever long enough, a place to stand, and a fulcrum to lean it on, and I will move the world. This is the key word for today, leverage. Leverage. I want you to, that's what lever represents, leverage. I want you to give me that in the chat. Just type it in the chat that I know you are listening. Leverage. The best way to make money is to leverage something, right? Sometimes that's leveraging knowledge. Sometimes that's leveraging a skill. For instance, if you're a plumber, you are leveraging your skill to go and make some money. If you are a doctor, you are leveraging your intellect and your skill that you spent learning over a 7-year period and your internship and all of those things. You're leveraging that skill to go and make money, Now, I know a lot of people are like, you know what, I just want to save lives and I want to do all that. Yes, but then why are you taking the paycheck? Everybody needs some money, right? And so it's no different in trading as a whole. What you need is leverage, and you need a vehicle that permits this leverage in such a way that it's beneficial to you. And that's what we're talking about today, which is OPM, other people's money. In essence, we've given you the lever, right, which you're going to use to move your bank account balance. We've given you a place to stand, which is connect, trade, and grow, right? And we've given you a fulcrum on which to lean it on, which is the strategy we teach. And when you put all those things together, that is what we call kingdom wealth funding. Let me say it again. Not woke funding. Not grab the bag, whatever, and kingdom wealth funding. That's what we're doing. What is that essentially? And that's what we're teaching. And we got some more interesting things around this concept coming out, right? Some of you have already tested the water. Some of you have already seen some success in this area. Many of our students have been jumping on this and seeing the value thereof. And what this essentially is a leverage opportunity for you to take what you have available and put it against a highly lucrative market and pull some resources out of that market. Now, I don't know about you, but these kind of things, especially if you've been trading for a long time, have not been around for such a long time, right? Mm-hmm. And some traders in here, Coach, I don't know about yourself and myself included, we can say, man, what would it have been like if this was there 10 years ago?
Coach, I have to ad lib. I have to ad lib. I want to bring it home. A lot of people on this call, we've met through them trading options. And so I was on a different platform and they heard me speaking. Just imagine if you were able to trade options and they said, hey, don't use your money. We have 25,000 that you can use of ours. And let's just do a split. Let's just do an 80-20 split. You keep 80% of the profits. We'll keep 20. And as long as you can prove that you know what you're doing, let's just keep this marriage going on. Just put a 7-10 in the chat if that speaks to you. How awesome that would have been. And here's what's incredible about this. This is relatively a new concept to retail traders, but institutional traders have always had the funding. They're trading with somebody else's money. And so we've been coming to the game. We've been bringing a knife to a gunfight. And you know what's been happening when you bring a knife to a gunfight? Yeah, you don't have to be the smartest man on the block. You lose, right? And so we have people that have limited resources, limited time, with money that they need to have, and they're bringing that to a market. And here's what's even crazier. And they don't even know what they're doing. And they are getting eaten alive by Jaws. You know the music in Jaws? Doom, 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 doom. Yeah, it's coming to get you right now. And the reason is because, you know, forgive my speech, but there's blood in the water. There's newbies in the water. There's emotions in the water. There's people with no structure in the water. And so when you have all of that around for sharks, that creates a condition for them to thrive and prey on you. And guess what? We're not having it on our shift. Go ahead, Coach. I'm sorry, man. You know I get fired up with stuff like this.
Bro. No, you're good. You're spot on, Coach. And I was going to say that as well. So what is now available to the retail trader was never available. We used to have to swim with the sharks. Now we got a little cage around us, right? We can observe them from a distance, and they become also like pets to us. But what's actually happening here, let me explain it in simple terms for you. It's an alignment. This is the age, and write this down for your own notes. We are living in the age of partnership. The age of partnership. In other words, you bring your skill, we bring our capital, and where that marriage joins together, that's where success is made. As Coach said, you're going to keep up to 90%, the actual number is. 90% of what you make, you get to keep, and you are trading with someone else's funding. But here's the next thing, and you're not probably even ready for this. Guess what happens? You lose. It's okay. We take the risk on us, right? We take the risk on us because we are betting that a bunch of successful traders over a long period of time will make more, right? And here's the thing. The marriage, the age of partnership is this. We don't only give you an account. We also teach you how to trade that account. Now, I don't know about you, but that doesn't sound like a big bank. That doesn't sound like a large institution. If you are the blood they smell in the water, why would they want to do that? This is the age of partnership, and guess what? Retail traders are taking it back. Now, not all retail traders can win. Some people are going to be stuck in their old ways. Some people are going to think about it the way they did before. But what if I told you that you can trade over 300 plus instruments? Stocks, you can trade Forex, you can trade indices, you can trade crypto. What if I told you that it was leveraged in such a way that you could make money and there was no time decay? You want to trade over weekends? Go ahead. Trade over weekends. Select the option. You want to trade with an EA? Go ahead. Trade your way. You want to trade news? Trade your way. Why be so drastically restricted? Right? It doesn't make sense. If the restrictions are so high, doesn't it make sense that it is there because the institutions want to make the money? Let me give you another one on this. What have we done with Kingdom Wealth Funding? What if you can't trade every day? That's okay. Trade on your time. How much time do you need? You need a day? You need a month? You need 2 months? You need 3 months? That's fine. There's no limit on time. Take your time and trade. Because here's the thing. We wanted to simulate this as close as possible to you having your own account. Because look, when you have your own account, do you put any restrictions on yourself? Do you say, you know what, I can't trade now, I can't do this, I can't do that? No, you don't. So why should we put that restrictions on you? So all you have to do is pass an evaluation, right? You pass that evaluation for a low fee in relation to the account size that you are getting. And when you get to that level, you get the account size, and guess what? We are in a partnership. We're making money together as opposed to us making money of you only. I think that's the way the world is going. People are going to be standing side by side and doing things together. Coach, doesn't it make sense that if we are kingdom in one aspect, we also need to be kingdom in the other side? We need to also be looking for the benefit of others. And if the system that you are in is not doing that, then I have a rude awakening for you. That's probably not the right system. Now, we've got a lot more interesting things to come. We're going to tell you a little bit about that soon. But we're going to continue on with the next step, Coach. Is there anything else you wanted to say on this, Coach?
Yeah, I want to say this as well, and everybody type this in the chat, the word parameters. I think that's so important because relationships have parameters, right?
Yes.
I'm assuming the majority of us have vehicles. The last time I checked, there's no place in America that you can drive 100 miles per hour. Now, in Texas, we might feel like that, 75, 80 miles per hour. But there's a speed limit. There's parameters that are set.
Yes.
The parameters are set to govern and to protect you. Are you guys tracking with me? So in these OPM fundings, let's be very candid about this. We're not having investors that say, hey, just take my money and blow it any way that you want to.
No.
Absolutely not. We have investors that have parameters, and if you follow the parameters, these parameters will put you in position to unleash funding that for some people, it would take a lifetime to save. Does that make sense? There was another question. I think it came from Alberto. Can we do options? So no, you can't do options, but you can trade instruments, over the 300 instruments in the currency market where you would do with options. So it's going to be a little bit different, and we'll explain that in a future training because I definitely wanted to answer that. But that's
Coach, can I say something on
yeah,
that
go ahead,
point?
please.
I know you know this answer, but I'm going to ask it in any case so
Sure.
we can get the group to actually know. Guess what is the hardest thing to trade? Out of all the instruments, the hardest instrument, you just mentioned it now, Coach. What is the hardest thing to learn to trade?
Options.
And it's currently, absolutely, and it's currently the biggest and most promoted thing in the States. You got to ask yourself sometimes, why are these things done in that way? Right? Why is it so difficult to actually trade something that's supposed to be that lucrative? So, not knocking options because our strategy works on everything. However, also just using wisdom and saying, maybe that parameter, as you said, is not necessarily a restriction, but it's a guideline to set you up for success.
That's good, man. See, that's why you get the last name, man, Solomon. God knew what your name was going to be and knew you was going to be dropping those wisdom bombs, man. Let's keep on going, sir. Oh, I'm excited about the playbook. Please talk about this. Please talk about this, folks. This is one of the new exciting announcements as well.
Awesome. So this is new, right? And no one has seen this before, not even the students. No one else has seen it. at this point. So you're literally getting an exclusive right now on this call. We have we've gone behind the scenes and we have written, and this has taken some time. Right? I'm not going to tell you how much time because you guys are going to say I'm crazy, but it's taken some time to put together, and it's called Just Like Clockwork. It is more than just an ebook. It's more than just something you read online. It is also combined and put together with a series of videos, education, and look at the title. This is where it comes together. Learn how you can predict the market's next move. Now, Coach, I was on a call yesterday with a student, right? We were doing a one-on-one, and one of the things I said to the student is this: before you get good at anything, you first need to submit to the possibility that what you are being taught is the right thing, right? The problem is it's very difficult to submit to something that you have not seen repeat itself over and over and over, right? For instance, if I was to tell you now, Coach, you see that window behind you? Go and jump out of there. Usually when people jump out of that window, they usually fly. You've never seen that before. You're going to say, this guy has lost his doggone mind, right? However, once you've seen something happen over and over and over, you start to gain confidence. No one walks into their house saying, hey, I wonder if this roof is going to fall on my head. You know why they don't do that? It's because they've walked in there many times prior and it's never happened. So what is this book about? It's a playbook, right? And it's not just a playbook, it's a book of secrets, so to say. We're going to prove once and for all inside of this ebook and video series that the markets are absolutely manipulated. And not only are they manipulated, but there is a time-sensitive move that happens in every market, and it is predictable. How does that sound to everyone on this call?
Hey, Coach, pause right quick because we're having a little challenge with your internet. Let me just see if everybody can hear you, because I don't want you to be sharing these knowledge bombs and then we're having a connection issue. So if you guys can hear us clearly, just put a 7 in the chat so we can know that this is going good. If not, I'll go ahead and pick up from Coach. Please let me know if you can hear that correctly. So I'm just waiting on everybody. Let me know if you can hear that. They're having a little bit of internet. Okay, good. I should have at least 20-something 7s in here because I know everybody's paying attention. Yeah. Good coach. So, Coach, right back at you, brother. I don't want you talking and dropping it, no wisdom, problem, man, and then you got to repeat it, man. Look, Phil gave you a 14, so he said 7 times 2. Come on, that's what I'm talking about, Phil.
Phil's hearing me. Phil's hearing me double time there. He's hearing me double time. No, absolutely. Thanks for that, Coach, and thanks for the team checking in as well. So absolutely, this is a book of secrets, right? Not just a book of secrets, it's a video series. And I'm going to go out and say this as well. There's one video missing from this video series, but for those people who are going to follow through with what we tell them to do at the end of this call, they will get access to that video as well. Right? So you're going to have to stay connected and listen to what that actually is. But what have we done here? I've gone and put together some of the concepts and proven that the market is predictable. Now, I haven't even shared this with other people, Coach. I haven't even said this part yet, but I have gone and seen that this is true in the indice market as well. And I have those timestamps. So I'm going to be adding that, right? I'm going to be adding that. So now, as this book stands, this book is essentially going to solidify the concept that everything is manipulated and the market. What do we mean by manipulation? Someone might say, man, if the market's manipulated, I don't want to be part of it. No, that's exactly what you want. Let me explain something. If the market is not manipulated, it's random. And you can't trade random. You can't trade random. Right? If something is truly just happening because it's randomly occurring on the chart, you cannot trade it. But if something is manipulated, guess what it leaves? A pattern. It leaves a footprint. And that's what we're talking about in the series, an educational book. It's showing you the actual patterns, yes. Aside from the patterns, it's giving you the timestamps. And aside from that, it's also giving you the psychological profile you require to trade within those parameters. How does that sound to everyone? Let me see. Give me an 8 in the chat. It's more than just a pattern. Give me an 8 in the chat if this sounds good to you. I need an 8. And Phil, from you, I'm expecting a 16. Come on. I need a
That's what
16.
I'm
Somebody give
talking
me
about.
an 8. Someone give me a 16.
Coach, I got a question for you, and I didn't even prompt you on
Yeah,
this, but
go.
I just kind of sense on it.
No problem.
I don't know if you feel comfortable. Maybe you do,
Yeah. Yeah.
but could you share just a little bit of some of the revelation?
Mm.
You know what
Okay.
I'm talking about when I just said that? Um, I don't think people understand what we
Mm.
have right here. I don't, and so
Mm.
on you, I don't know how. I'm not going to say go too deep, but I think
Yeah,
that you
I
can
got you.
sprinkle it just a little bit, maybe put some cinnamon on top, some nutmeg on top of the coffee, man. But I believe that if you just share that, and remember, we're Kingdom Day traders, we're unapologetic in our faith and for what we stand
Yes.
for, and for what we're believing in, and we don't just adhere just to conventional wisdom.
Mm.
We understand that the Most High can give us insight.
Yes.
Um, so I just want to pass on this one. And again, tell the truth. I didn't even share this with you, man. This kind of
Yeah,
came
no,
to me.
I got you.
And again, I'm wearing the Believe attire. So I just felt that, in my spirit to say, throw that in, coach. Coach is he's a pro, but I just wanted to share that with the group, man. If you're
No,
okay. If you're okay with that. If
no,
not, I'll take
absolutely.
it back. Yes, sir.
Absolutely, coach. So let me preface it with another story quickly prior to that. A lot of people will be able to relate to what I'm about to say now. There are certain things about your characteristics that no one has taught you. Coach, is that true for you?
Yes.
There are certain things that it's just how you are, right? You just became that way. You didn't see someone like that. Someone hasn't taught you to be like that. One of the things, for instance, that stands out very, very high with me, and I'm sure, of course, my mom spoke to me a little bit about this, but I'm a person of integrity. Man, I don't steal things. I don't like to steal things, and if I ever did, most of it will be without full knowledge of what I'm actually doing, right? The reason I'm saying that is there are certain characteristics, and I want you guys to give me a 9 in the chat if this is true for you. There's certain characteristics and things that you haven't been taught. You don't see it in your parents. You didn't see it in your grandparents. You just have it. You're just different that way, right? It just stands out in a different way. Now, as Coach said, we are unapologetically Christian. There we go. 9's coming through. Absolutely, right? I believe that a lot of those things are God given abilities that is inside of you. How do I know that? The Bible says, before I formed you, I knew you, right? I set you apart. I made you this, is essentially what God is saying. And with that being said, tying it into what Coach is saying here, and we really didn't plan this beforehand, I believe that certain revelations that I've gotten in the process of making this book. Now, some of our students will know some of these things, but they won't know the full thing. Certain revelations that were given here did not come by man's understanding. Ask me how in the middle of the night I wake up and I see a candle. Now, all of us has probably dreamt of trading at some point. But some of these revelations did not come just by me sitting on the chart. I went back to the chart, went and studied it, because if God gives you anything, you better put it to work. You better use that talent. You better put it in the ground. You better not put it in the ground. You better put it somewhere where it can grow some interest. And as I pursued that more and more, some of the revelations that's inside of this book is on account of that initial seed that God put in place, that initial moment. So let me make an example. What if I told you that during a certain period of the day, the market is reaching for a certain place? What if I told you on indices, not just what you know as open time and close time? What if I told you that there are certain patterns that are repeating itself over and over, right? Every single day. And I can show you, hey, not even just show you. This is where it gets important. Let me say something that might sound really hard. Don't follow people who show you profits. Follow people who show you the kind of things you can see for yourself.
Come on, man. Come on now.
Man, because it's one thing to give a man a fish, but to teach him how to fish. So here's the proof of what we do, Coach, and you know this. Our proof is not in the Lambos or the houses and I'm not saying anything is wrong with any of those things. It's not in the properties, in all of those things. Our proof is in that when we leave you to your own devices, you see what we have seen. Even if it's in hindsight after the end of the day as you're learning, but you see it. And that's important. So if what I received as a revelation is not repeatable for you, then it's not a revelation. For who is it then revealed to? If you cannot see the same thing in and out. So this is what this book is about. It's about revelations. It's about showing you not the book of Revelation, but it's about showing you that there's a footprint available in the market. And as I told that student yesterday, and this is a big deal, if you are willing to put in the time, right, to see what I'm telling you is there, it will change your perspective completely. Now, what if there was a book and a video series that said, hey, this is where you should look? That is exactly what Just Like Clockwork is. It's the book and the video series and education saying, this is what you need to look for. And once you submit to that concept, your trading changes because you now see what is plainly available and hidden in plain sight. So if you like that, give me a 10 in the chat. Let's move on, Coach.
Woo! Come on, man. Come on. This is good. This is good. Let me go back so we can kind of share and just kind of stick on time, man, because we can talk right now. We're blessed to have them voices. We could flow. So this next one, the next page on this is we're going to be talking about some of the newer things that are coming. This is where you have the ability to take action. Everybody write that down, please. Take action. Take action. I've learned in this world, there's people that talk and there's people that take action. And one thing that you have to understand as an organization, we're always trying to find a way for things to be better. We're always trying to way to serve. And we always remind ourselves it's okay to bless people and do well in business. I did a video the other day, and I was talking about how the word worship and customer service in Hebrew are the same exact word. Take that in, right? The word worship and customer service in Hebrew are the same exact word. And in a nutshell, it simply meant that worship is a form of serving God's people. And so there's a people group that understand Hebrew and they thrive in business anywhere that they go because they understand that they can do good, respectable business and God will bless what they do. Which goes into the next law. Write this down, please. Sowing and reaping. Sowing and reaping. When you look at a farmer who understands sowing and reaping, one thing that this farmer would love to do is this farmer wants to get a bunch of seeds because he or she knows that if I can cast out a bunch of seeds, I'm going to reap a great harvest. It's a principle. It works anywhere, pending it's on fertile ground, pending the land has been plowed, pending the right conditions happen so that you can thrive. And so when we talk about this playbook, the playbook is a way for you to understand how to sow, where to sow, what to look at, what to change. But the next step of reaping and reaping the harvest is you being prepared. What does the word says? It says the harvest is plenty, but the workers are few. Absolutely. God has produce set up everywhere. He wants people to thrive, but we have to be disciplined. We have to be prepared. So I'm going to keep on going. I don't want to start preaching over here, but I just wanted to get to the next thing. And let's talk about this. So, Coach, you're up.
Absolutely. I'm excited about this, Coach. I don't know how excited everyone on this call is, but I'm absolutely excited. So we've got coming up in the near future. That's why it's so important you watch all of these live streams. And you stay connected to all of the emails. Let me also say this. If you have previously stated that you don't want to receive marketing from us or something like that, please send us an email again, and so that we can rectify that, because now we are taking it up a level and you don't want to miss out. A lot of the times we find, Coach, that people say, man, I never heard about it, or I never saw it, or I never, and that's because you've opted out, right? Opt back in. We have your best interest at hand. So we're bringing up boot camps, and I like this because if you think about the Army and you think about what a boot camp is trained to do, it's trained to accelerate your growth. That's what we're kind of doing. We want to accelerate your growth. We want to focus in on what we have seen. Why are we doing this? We've been able to see what what people have done as students. We've been able to see what people have done inside of the funding program. We've been able to see over a vast amount of time what works and what doesn't work. And we're about to put things on target, and we're about to take that shot. That's what boot camps are going to be. But now we also understand that everybody grows differently. Everybody's got a different process. Everybody's got a different, just like there's some day traders and some swing traders and some position side traders. I don't know if there's any position traders here on this call, but everybody's got a different little format that they operate within. And so we're bringing something on board, which is an accountability coach. I've seen this more than one time. Someone says, you know what? I have a problem with this. But everybody tends to want to suffer in isolation. And even when they are public about some of their mistakes, they still go into hiding, so to say, and go into isolation when it comes to their suffering. But everyone needs something or someone or some process that keeps you accountable. And so we're introducing your accountability coach. Not only that, how amazing would it be if you were to able to get $10K, not $10, $10K, $10,000 in prop firm funding per month, right? In an evaluation program where you can say, you know what, I'm testing, I'm working, I'm building, but I know I got this consistent 10K coming in. So we introducing another program as a form of, I don't want to say just subscription, because subscription seems like we're just taking from you. But this one is giving towards you, right? We're giving you 10K a month to test and trade with and try and make that money. Now, here's the thing about that 10K. That 10K you should think about as you've been given, here's the best way to think about it, as if you've been given an apple. Now, what do you mean by that, coach? Right? Inside of an apple is seeds. If you eat and consume the one apple up, then all you've done is eat and consume that apple. But if you take out the seed inside, you put it into the ground, guess what that does for you? It doesn't give you an apple back. It gives you an apple tree. So what is that 10K essentially? That 10K is a seed which you can literally scale up to, listen to this, millions. Currently now, the most amount of funding that you can kind of get with us is standing at about $4 million each person. And that's really what that 10K is. It's a seed to something much greater. Now, let me be frank. If you're in South Africa or you are in one of the African countries, 10K is not just a seed, that's a tree. Because that's a full-on tree. That's two trees, you know. And if we even go to some other countries where the rand dollar exchange is not that good, then that's a vineyard, man. That's a vineyard that you've been given. So this is what we're doing. We're going intensifying. And if you want to be part of that, we need to know. We need to know today. Let's not hesitate. One of the things that coach taught me early on, and you might not know this, but he's my coach, right? And his wife, Coach Cindy, is my coach as well. And they taught me how to trade. What they taught us early on, and I'm so grateful for this, is that you got to be decisive. You got to be able to take decisions. You got to be able to act. And that's what we're asking you to do. Now, we're not asking everyone to do that. That's why we called the group to over the last few days. I don't know if you noticed this, but we brought the numbers of the group down. You're watching this in Connect, Trade, and Grow, and we brought the numbers of the group down because guess what? We are not for everybody. We are for that someone who wants to change a life. We are for that someone who wants to change a community. And that's why we're introducing some new programs. Again, as Coach said before, these are not grandfathered in programs. These are programs that we are launching now to intensify and shift and change the holistic mindset of a trader to where they actually want to be. And if you're in on that, then give me I'm in. Give me I am in the chat. Thank you, Coach.
Awesome. Coach, I want to jump on that as well, man, because you said a lot. I
Sure.
want us to start right at the boot camp piece as well. I was in the Air Force, went to their boot camp, which was about 8 weeks. I came in
Man,
at the time where they,
Coach,
you know,
we should have had your pick for this one. We should have had your pick.
I know. I got to go in the archives and blow the dust off, right? But I tell you what was transformational, man, is we went in there as kids, we went in as civilians, and in a matter of 2 months, we left as GIs, government issues. We understood why we were in the service. We learned how to march. We learned how to build camaraderie. We learned how to to take the marching orders and really have a respect for the country. And that's why, to me, man, the woke movement really bothers me because it's a
Yeah.
disrespect to the country. These boot camps are designed to get you to be focused and to take the knowledge and win. It's just that simple. I didn't
Mm.
share this, but my wife and I are taking real estate classes, and there's a school that we go to, and I remember as I was taking some of the classes, the lady really inspired me because she says, "My job is to get you prepared to pass the test. Period. If you're not passing the test, I'm not winning. The institution's not winning."
Mm.
And I like that idea because it reminded me that people join Connect Trade and Grow or Kingdom Day Traders because they want to learn how to make money, period. They're not signing up to
Yeah.
go to college. They're not signing up to get a PhD, but they do want an MBA, right? Massive bank account. And so they're coming in here because they want to get focused. And so we're going to be having these, like, listen to me, please, these paid boot camps where we can
Mm.
spend some time and get focused. I wanted to stretch that word because we found out that if you don't invest anything, you don't respect it. The numbers show it. Number two, accountability coach. What gets measured gets repeated. Everybody like this, right? So as
Ooh.
traders, write this down, please. We have to have KPIs, key performance indicators. That's step one. Step two, we need to have an accountability coach that's going to look you in your face and ask you the question, so why did you not do what you said that you were going to do? Why do we keep on going over here? Why do we keep on failing at this place? They're going to hold your feet to the fire because you need that. That's why people hire personal trainers. They hire people that can help stretch them so they can win. So I know people that sat down with me, then signed up to get a new best friend. They signed up so that they can win, and we can be best friends when you start winning. When I met Coach Chadwin, I called him what was the nickname, man? Professor somebody. I'm sorry, Miss Malone's time.
Baby wisdom.
Baby
Baby
wisdom.
wisdom, coach.
Baby
That's where we
wisdom. That's
started.
what that was the nickname. I won't dare call him that right now. That's Coach Chapman right now. But I knew that this brother had something in him, but he put in the time. And the last one, think about Netflix, right? Imagine you have a subscription because that's what it is. And every month you can count on a $10,000 account. Now, I'm not a
Yep.
mathematician, but 10 times 12 is
Come on.
$120,000. Come on now.
Mm.
Now, just imagine each month you got a little bit better. You grew the account by 10%, and boom, you unlocked $10,000. And then the next one came, and boom, $10,000. Do you know if you did that consistently by the end of the year, folks, you've made an additional $120,000 by growing the account at 10%? Put a seven in the chat
Come
if you
on.
would like an additional $120,000. Yeah. Now, coach, are you saying that I won't lose? Are you saying that I might not blow some accounts? Let me look in your face. You're probably going to blow several accounts. Let me slow down, coach.
Mm.
And you know I'm real. But guess what? I
We have to
prefer
be.
to lose on the demo than blow my own money. Put an 8 if you agree with that. I
Mm.
prefer to lose on the demo than blow my own money. I
Yes.
love talking when people give me pushback on that. Man, I mean, I don't want to keep on getting these accounts. I'm sorry, because when I sat down with you,
Mm.
you said that you lost $40,000. Remember? So now we're saying don't lose your $40,000. Keep that in your bank. Keep that in your 401k. Keep that in your Roth. Instead, use the prop firm's money, OPM, learn the skill set, and then instead of you taking all the risk, spread that risk with the investor. Come on, folks. I'm speaking some truth today. Put a 10 in the chat if I'm getting you fired up. You know me. You know me. I
Yes,
just
sir.
like to keep stuff real. And coach, I'll pass it back to you, man, because I wanted to bring some clarity to the team. I know we have at the bottom, I am ready. And so what's going to happen next as I pass it to you is that we'll reach out to you. We're going to have a strategy call. Please listen. It's not going to be one-on-one because we have 3
Mm.
to 4 coaches and we have many of you guys. So it's going to be a limited amount. We'll meet together as a group. But when you come to the training or the call, you're going to have to be prepared. Does that make sense? You're going to have to be prepared. Now, during that call, we're going to mention that if you want to get the Trading Like Clockwork book, there's going to be a price for that. Coach and Coach Cindy are the ones that authored that book together. So we're not giving
Yeah.
that book away. There's a small fee that's attached to it, but you're going to need to have that book because that's a prerequisite for some of the material that we're going to be going over. So, Coach, I'm going to pass that back to you and just let me know if there's anything that I forgot as well.
No, absolutely, Coach. I just want to reiterate for everyone again, it's more than just a book, right? It's a book plus an additional short course video series showing you all of that, right? So that's important. It's not just a book, it's a video series. Well, the book is more so a supporting document to the actual video series. So that's going to be important. Also, I wanted to give them the actual numbers again in case they haven't yet heard it before. Let's say, for instance, you have $100,000 in a real account. If you lose 6%, then I want to see if these people can do maths with me, Coach, if that's okay. If you lose 6% of your $100,000 account, how much have you lost? Give it to me in the chat. Give it to me in the chat, right? I want to see if you guys can do some math. Now, I know some of you are going to do it before the calculator, so there we go. 6K, 6,000 says is a right? So if you lose 6%, you would lose $6,000. Now here's the thing, long enough and a fulcrum to lean it on, and I will move the world. When you go into a prop firm setup, right? If you
Hey,
lose
Coach, we're getting a losing
the same
connection
amount,
on you guys.
6%, you are only losing $1,000. Right? I see someone saying a losing connection. Am I back yet?
Hey, guys, give me a 7
Am
if
I
you
back,
can hear
Coach?
me. I think he's having an issue with his connection. Give me a 7 if you can hear me. 7 if you guys can hear me. We don't want to be talking if the connection is lost. 7 if you can hear me. I think he might have to jump back on. Okay. So what he was asking was just to do the math, 100,000 account, you lost 6%. What would that number be? So let me just kind of hear from a couple of more people. Let me know what that would be. And we're going to wait for Coach Chapman to come back on here. I'll go ahead and fill that in. How much money would you lose if you lost the 6% in that 100,000 account? Good. So we got some numbers starting to come in right here. The number would be $6,000. Now, you don't have to type this in the chat, but I know from firsthand experience and conversations, I know a lot of people on this call that have lost $6,000 to the market. Yep, plenty. Some of us on the call are saying, hey, man, I wish that I could have just lost $6,000. Yeah. I wish that would have been the case, right? So what we're trying to change is instead of you losing money out of your own account, put that to the side and set a little bit to side for the prop firm funding. Watch this, so that you can leverage their money. And instead, if you happen to lose that account, let's be very real about it, you would lose not even a fourth of that. Does that make sense? However, to pass the evaluation, you have to grow it at 10%. But now you have access to money where now we've negotiated that you get a 90-10 split, depending if you choose that option. Put a 10 if that makes some sense. So, Coach, you're back on. I don't know if your microphone's good. We'll wait for that. And then we definitely have some people that have to jump off. So let's go ahead and close. Takes a couple of minutes.
No problem. Testing. 1, 2. So yeah, just Coach, can you hear me? Am I good?
Yes.
Okay. Apologies for that, guys. Apologies for that. It's a nationwide issue at the moment with the internet connection. So yeah, just to reiterate what Coach said, what you need to do right now is in the chat say I am ready, and we're going to get in contact with you. Say I am ready. And essentially what it means when you say I am ready is you saying I'm ready to take it to the next level. And I'm ready to lose a lot less than I've lost before. And that's what we've done with the funding. And that's what we're doing with our education. We are de-risking. As Coach said, a lot of you came in here and said, man, I've lost enough. So we are helping you with education and with actual funding to de-risk. Instead of losing 6,000, how does 1,000 sound? A lot better. So again, here's what you need to do right now. I am ready. And when we get on call with you on those strategy calls, and we've been looking for a better word than strategy because really it's more than that. It really is more than that. We're going to set you up for success. So when you jump on with us, we're going to show you some things. We're going to get more in depth. And I'm going to show you what that video series actually looks like. So comment, I am ready. And then myself and Coach, we're going to be out. But it's been a absolute blessing to be on with you guys today. Remember, and I'm going to hand over to Coach so that he can do the 3 M's and also our new little tagline that we have that's on the screen right now. But yeah, Coach, it's been a blessing to be on with you, and it's been a blessing to be on with all these wonderful, amazing people. You guys should have an awesome weekend.
Awesome. So, folks, let's go and end off like we do. Say it with me, please. Mindset, multiplication, and management. The M3 strategy. And now we're simpler, better, and faster.
Fast.
With that being said, having a blessed weekend, an amazing weekend to our existing students. We will see you on Monday. Thank you. God bless. Love you guys.
Awesome. God bless.